going to give away a free t-shirt, ask and answer a question, and reveal the book's up off this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching The Comic Hero Show. Now kick that intro! Welcome to this week's edition of The Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Heart Health Month. Now, I'll touch base on what that means a little later on, but for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, last time I asked, which U.S. state is the fictitious town of Smallville located in? Well, the correct answer is Kansas. And 11 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, your name's been entered in the drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this episode of the show is Vicky Wright from Shongaloo, Louisiana. So congratulations, Vicky. You just got a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for the free tee for next week's episode, and this is an Avengers question. Which Marvel character was a circus performer before becoming an Avenger? Now here are the hints. The first hint is that this character has appeared in Marvel Studios movies since 2011's Thor and has been played by Jeremy Renner. The second hint, this character's codename is also the nickname for Alan Alda's character on the hit TV show MASH. And then the third and final hint, this character's codename is also the mascot of the University of Iowa in Iowa City, Iowa. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. So, I gotta ask, any questions?
Questions I walk around in, questions I didn't thrive in, questions I will survive in, questions.
Alright, this question comes from Michael Tesfaye from Catania, Italy. He asks, what is the small change that could have made a bad comic book decent? For example, what tweak would have fixed X-Men The Last Stand? What was the wrong decision that made the reboot of the Fantastic Four movie not work? Well, Michael, with X-Men The Last Stand, the only tweak that I would change would, well, Cyclops wouldn't die. Because in the comics, even when Jean was the host body of the Dark Phoenix Force, she never touched him. She may have tried, but she never, she might have hurt him, but she never killed him. So I would definitely fix that. Now with the Fantastic Four movie in 2015, everything! That movie top to bottom was a dumpster fire on top of a huge pile of poop. Now granted, with the Fantastic Four movie in 2004 and 2007, which were both directed by Tim Story, those weren't perfect either. However, they did go up in space where they got hit by cosmic rays. That was fine. But the only thing that made that movie bad was whoever wrote the screenplay, I think it was Scott Frost. He included Dr. Doom. Now the Fantastic Four, now I understand the Fantastic Four's arch nemesis is Dr. Doom and everything, but in the comics he had absolutely nothing to do with the Fantastic Four's origin. As a matter of fact, the first ever villain the Fantastic Four ever faced was Mole Man. And they did the same thing in that awful movie in 2015. He got their powers the same way that Doom did. The only difference is they didn't go into space. Now what Marvel Studios is doing, they're going to try to succeed where Fox failed. And they're sending the Fantastic Four back to the 1960s. Now you're probably wondering, why are they doing that? You have to think about it. The way that they got their powers was that they stole, you heard me, stole a space shuttle and went into space. You can't even do that in the late 20th century, much less right now. So the only way to do that is to go back to the 1960s. And of course, the Fantastic Four were created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in 1961, which, by the way, were Lee and Kirby's first collaboration together under Marvel. A lot of folks have either yelled at me or wanted to fight me because of that, but it's true. Look it up. So they're going back to, so with this script, oh, by the way, Fantastic Four comes out in theaters July 25th of next year. Can't wait to see this. But what they're doing is that they are, they're going back to that time. And Doom is not going to have anything to do with this movie. And rightfully so. And I think it's going to work. I honestly think it's going to work. And honestly, July 25th can't get here any sooner. All right, really loving these questions y'all are asking. Oh, by the way, thank you, Michael. And I'll have another question for episode 474. Now you can ask any question you want, so long as it pertains to comics or anything within the realm. It could pertain to the show, or it could pertain to me in terms of the hobby. But please, no personal or tasteless questions. I will neither ask nor answer them on here. All right, let's get to the comics I bought this week. Comic books I bought this week. All right, here we go. First up is Action Comics number 1062. The Amazing Spider-Man number 43. Batman number 143. Batman and Robin number 6. Black Panther number 9. Blue Beetle number 6. Really excited about this one. DC Power 2024. Fall of the House of X number 2. Green Lantern number 8. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 16. Also excited about this one. Uh-oh. Jeez. Sinister Sons number 1. I guess what happened there was Sinister. Speed Force number 4. Superior Spider-Man number 4. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 148. And finally, Wolverine number 43. All right, that's 15, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 12,698. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. Which Marvel character was a circus performer before becoming an Avenger? Now, here are the hints again. The first hint is that this character has appeared in Marvel movies since 2011's Thor and has been played by Jeremy Renner. The second hint, this character's code name is also the nickname for Alan Alda's character on the hit TV show MASH. And then the third and final hint, this character's code name is also the mascot of the University of Iowa in Iowa City, Iowa. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Vicky Wright from Shongaloo, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this episode. All right, now this month is Heart Health Month. Now, a lot of emphasis on this is put on heart disease. Now, heart disease is one of the leading causes of death among men and women. Coronary artery disease, arrhythmia, heart valve disease, stroke, cardiac arrest, and congestive heart failure are some of the different types of heart disease. Symptoms of heart disease are chest pain, chest tightness, chest pressure, chest discomfort, shortness of breath, pain, numbness, weakness, or coldness in your limbs if the blood vessels in those parts of the body are narrowed, pain in the neck, jaw, throat, upper abdomen, or back. About half of all Americans have at least one of three key risk factors for heart disease, and that's high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking. Some risk factors for heart disease cannot be controlled, such as your age and family history, but you can take steps to lower your risk by changing the factors you can control. Now, I know quite a few people that are currently battling heart disease, and I know some people that have lost their battles. And this episode is in honor of those that are currently living with heart disease and in loving memory of those that have passed on from heart disease, and it's in honor of their families as well. Because, like I always say, whenever someone is going through something, it's not just their fight, it's their family's fight as well. And this is a Heart Health Month Comic Hero tee. And if you would like one, you can find them on iamthecomichero.com/shop. And I will donate half of each purchase to the American Heart Association. All right, here's the road ahead for the show. On next week's episode, I'm celebrating Black History Month. And I'm also going to have a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight of my own creation. And I'm going to feature a segment that I did on a show a few years ago on a comic book writer and a comic book artist. And I'm talking about Dennis Cowan and the late great Dwayne McDuffie. Then on episode 474, I'm raising awareness of endometriosis. I know quite a few women who are living with this disease, and if you're watching this and you're a woman who's living with this disease, or if you know someone who's living with endometriosis, this episode is for y'all. Then on episode 475, I'm raising awareness of colon cancer, and on episode 476, I'm raising awareness of kidney cancer. I say this quite often, but I really love doing this show, and I'm going to continue to keep doing this show until I'm physically unable to. All right, if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. As soon as you're done, hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the Comic Book Lovers Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. All right, I'm Victor Nully on the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 473. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.